we're so sorry. What's your name and what's your address? We'll send you some coupons for like free product. And
Yep.
she gave the name, and the person was like, "Are you still at this P.O. box?" My mom has a file in Nabisco.
Yes. So does my cousin.
like,
So does my
like,
cousin.
like this bitch again.
I just want you to know that I started recording in the middle of that story.
Oh.
So just to catch listeners and viewers up to speed, Mal was telling us about his mother calling Nabisco over some
My
crackers
mom,
or cookies. Crackers?
I don't know what it was. My mom will if you put satisfaction guaranteed on your product, she will find a way to not be satisfied and get some stuff for free.
Mal, is your mom black?
No, but my mom's Japanese,
Japanese.
but she says repeatedly that she was black in another life.
Yes.
My mom says she was a black princess in another life.
And I
No,
believe
that's
her.
right.
In my mom's house, among all the Japanese artwork and decor that she has, there is one painting of a black woman just holding a flower, random, out of place in the whole decor. And she's like, "I used to be black." I'm like, "Okay, mom."
What if you
And don't
found
say that out loud to nobody but me.
Yeah.
what if you found out she was a member of the Black Panthers?
She was infiltrating. I love that. I love that story. Black American princess, bat baby. She a bat.
Yeah.
It's not just
Your mother was a bat in a former life.
I was about to say something really racist, but I'm gonna say
I know you were. You usually are about to say something really racist.
Yeah.
So
I was just gonna call her a Bap Jack.
Wow.
the funny thing was, I said Jap in my head before you said that. I was like Bap Jap, and this is why we're friends.
And why we're gonna get canceled. No, let me introduce the show. You guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson. To my new listeners, The Struggle used to be a podcast where I would have my friends come on and we talk about things we're struggling with, but since everyone is struggling with the world ending, we're just going to keep it light, talk about some topical things, and hopefully bring some joy to your life. To my loyal listeners and viewers, thank you for always coming back. I don't know why, but you do, and thank you. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do that on all podcast platforms. You can find us there. I'm also posting videos now on YouTube on my personal channel. Make sure you go there and subscribe there, rate and review us on iTunes, and last but not least, if you have not told somebody about this podcast and you were enjoying it, do it yourself and this podcast a favor and tell somebody. Spread the love. Now I'm going to introduce my co-host for the day, who is mobile as always, Mal Hall.
Hey, everybody, I'm back. I'm in the parking lot. I'm looking over my shoulder. Let me lock the doors, left and right, just to make sure I don't get jumped in this parking lot. But I'm happy to be here. My website is melhall.com. Social media at melhall. I voted. I dropped off my ballot today, so I did my duty.
Yes.
And I'm excited to be here. Candice, who is our guest?
I'm very excited to have her back. She did the podcast a long time ago. I think it was probably like 2 years ago when Mal was still even my co-host physically in the studio. And she's back because in the studio, remember those days? I love this lady so much. She's one of my BFFs. She's also my day one in comedy. Shout out to the hilarious Joyelle Johnson.
Hey.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Where can people find you online?
At Joyelle Nicole, Joyelle, NICOLE across all platforms, but I'm poppin'est on Instagram, I guess. But lately, a bitch ain't been wanting to post. I just be like, it's too depressing. Can you even, like, even on my birthday, I'm like, am I allowed to be like, it's my birthday? No, bitch, niggas are dying. Like, you can't. Can't post shit. You can't post a smile. Niggas are dying.
Yeah. Everybody this year, everyone born after March had a quarantine birthday.
I was born in March. I had a quarantine birthday.
All right.
And Candice had one of the early quarantine birthdays.
Early quarantine birthday.
Early.
That's like, when people were still doing drive-by carnivals with their cars, and it was still cute. Oh, let's all drive by the house and honk our horns. Like, okay.
Like, nigga, send me an Amazon gift card. What the fuck?
Not knowing that we'd still be here 8 months later.
Yeah. Fast forward.
My birthday is in September, and I had no idea. I was like, certainly by September we gonna be
Yeah.
cool. Psych, bitch.
By September, it was like, you can't even tell anyone. You can't be happy. It's like,
Yeah.
my birthday
Oh,
was in June. I felt the same way. I was just like, well, this is depressing.
Yeah.
I feel
who
shame that I
knew?
made it.
Who knew?
On
But
my
here we
birthday, I
are.
did some shrooms and I walked around the Atlanta Botanical Garden. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's a good
Yes.
birthday. That's a good birthday.
Yes. Did,
It's very good.
Just watch
why
the flowers. Just watch the flowers melt in all their fantastic colors.
Exactly.
did I hit you for your birthday? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but you probably did.
I want to say I
I
hope so. Because I don't want to be that bad friend.
I know I was the bad friend and I fucked up like 8 years later. I was like, oh shit, it was Candice's birthday. Hey, I'm
I don't
sorry.
care. I mean,
I'm sorry I was in a puddle.
Yeah.
if you get mad at people for not hitting you for your birthday, like we're all adults. Like the fact that we even celebrate them is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't care. But no, I think I hit you. I can't remember because September seems like 7 months ago. But since here we are, it's almost
Yeah.
November. It's November
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
Sean Connery died for us today.
Word?
You didn't hear
Yeah.
that, Mal?
Breaking news now. Breaking news.
Wow, I had no idea. The
Yeah.
James Bond.
They say he's the best one, but I have not seen any of the James Bond movies, I don't think.
Me either.
What?
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't know that about you, Candace.
yeah, no. And it's not like I intentionally was like, fuck James Bond. No,
Yeah.
I just never, yeah.
They're fun. They're
I
fun
heard.
because they're like borderline action comedies. They're like action movies that don't take themselves seriously, you know? Like he's like an action star, but he's also smashing and he is when he
Debonair. He's the
yeah,
definition of what you would say, debonair.
yes, and when he kills his enemies, he always has some little snarky catchphrase like, "Well, he'll be sleeping for a while," just like some tongue-in-cheek, just stupid fucking shit.
Well,
Fun.
that's where Austin Powers got a lot of the tone for
Yeah,
those movies. I knew that, like, I mean, you know, Goldfinger, and then he had Goldmember. So I knew that's what inspired it. So when he
yeah.
would do those cheesy jokes, I was like, that's probably a part of James Bond, but I'll never know. So wait, who was the best James Bond in your opinion?
I mean, I'm in the minority because I like Pierce Brosnan, but I think Sean Connery was the best one. The
Hmm.
Daniel Craig James Bond is a little bit too like dark. It's less of the funny light because he's
Hmm.
like taking himself serious. I'm an action star, and it's like fucking chill out. These
Is
movies are
he good
supposed to be
looking?
they're supposed to be fun.
I love that you had to ask. Is
Is
he
he?
attractive?
I don't know. I don't know. Is he
I think
good
he's
looking,
supposed
Candace?
to be.
Something looked like his face.
He looked like
Like,
he looked like he got into a fight the day before they
yes.
filmed, and they didn't bother to let the swelling come down. They're just like,
Yeah.
okay, go.
Yeah. You want to put a
Action.
steak on that? Can you put a steak on that?
I love when we have to ask to double check, like if someone is attractive, because like I feel like with most people, it's a general consensus that someone's either attractive or they're not. We're usually all on the same page. But
Right.
like some people who I've been like that with. What's her name from Handmaid's Tale?
White woman.
The lead character. Yeah,
Oh,
Elizabeth
she's
what's her
Moss.
name?
Elizabeth
Elizabeth.
Moss.
I'm like, is she attractive?
No,
Right.
I don't think she's supposed to be though, because the way they pitched her in Mad Men, she was like the frumpy, homely. Maybe that was just my opinion of the way they pitched her in Mad Men.
Yeah.
That was your breakdown in your head of the audition.
Yeah.
Here is the thing. You know, with the breakdowns be evil as hell. They'd be like, you look like you ain't never had no sleep in the past 8 days. Like, what?
Yeah.
How is that a look? How is
You
that a
have to call
breakdown?
your agent like, why did you think I would be good for this?
Right. These insulted ass breakdowns. Oh, I wonder what that precious breakdown was. But anyway, here's the thing. I'm gonna just say this. I'm furious at all of these white women that they be pressing into telling us they beautiful
I agree.
on the screen. Like I'll be watching something and they'll be like, but you're so beautiful, but you're so beautiful. And I'm like, but Woo, like they turned me into an owl. Woo, I don't see anyone attractive. So you just telling me this white woman? I have eyes, bitch. I have eyes.
But I think they are trying to tell us that she is attractive. Number one, she stole. Joyelle and I have talked about this before, but Elizabeth Moss on *Handmaid's Tale* stole her husband, a black man, from his black wife. Like this is what happens on the show, and I'm like,
yes.
You have her for her.
Because she's so beautiful, Candice.
Beautiful. And also in scenes on that show, like where she went to, remember where the guy that like owned her, the husband, when
the
he
commander,
that like commander,
the whorehouse,
took her to the whorehouse. She like got dressed. He had to dress her up and put her in a nice gown or whatever. And the way he like, oh, like, oh my God, you're stunning. I feel like they are trying to make us think that she's attractive or more attractive.
Here's the thing. Elizabeth Moss is for sure apocalypse attractive. Like if she's the last bitch on earth, I'd be like, you know what? Let's smash. But regular days, she ain't regular days attractive.
She's pandemic fine, you know.
Pandemic fine. Like, you know what? She would kill it in Middle Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like if she went to like with Frodo and with all those guys and the Hobbit,
they would be competing over her ass.
She looks like Drew Barrymore's evil twin. That's what she looks like to me.
She does look. She has an evil. There's something about her resting face that is
Yeah.
like coven-like,
Yeah.
witchcraft. Like I could definitely see her playing a witch role, and that's just her resting face.
Right.
Resting witch face, not resting bitch face.
Witch face. Resting witch face. RWF. Now,
I'm sure she's a delightful person. I'm sure she's a very nice person.
She's a Scientologist, right? You know she's in Scientology.
Yeah, we can talk all the shit about her.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to get murdered, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll all get taken out by Scientology. Also, I don't know if you guys ever watched The Office. I'm sure you did, but there was this conversation reminded me. There was an episode where Michael Scott had the whole entire office debating whether or not Hillary Swank was hot.
They said boys on the side, or which one? Which Hillary Swank?
I think just in general.
I don't think she's hot. I'm not a Hillary Swank fan.
She's got a masculine vibe. She's got a very
she got a jawline.
Jaw, right.
She looks like she could be James Bond. You know what I mean?
You know what?
She's got a good jawline.
Okay. I heard she's replacing Sean Connery now.
Weren't they saying like a black female James Bond was gonna happen?
I think. Isn't Idris?
It was supposed to be Idris for a minute. Right?
He was on the list, and then white people was losing their minds. They were like, James Bond isn't black, and everybody was like, you also know what else he's not? Real.
So right. It's like the Santa Claus conversation. Santa's white. Well, he had to be white. I agree with that. He was breaking in people's houses, leaving gifts and shit. He had to be white. I will agree with that. They're not gonna let a black man slide down nobody's chimney and not shoot him on sight.
Can you imagine? Fucking people in Wisconsin. They would have their fires lit.
The black stereotype isn't that we break in and leave stuff, by the way, either. We're taking more than those fucking cookies.
Do you know that my mom's nobody in her house is a child anymore. Nobody is a child. Even her grandkid is grown as fuck, right?
Yeah.
My mom still leaves out every Christmas cookies and cookies and milk for Santa, and then pretends she nibbles on them, or my dad will eat them and make it look like Santa ate them. She still has been doing that since we were kids and since my nephew was a kid, and now all of us are grown as fuck, and she still continues this tradition.
You know what? I'm gonna do that this year to cope with Christmas and quarantine. I don't even have a chimney. I'm gonna put the cookies on the patio, bitch.
As a person who has met your mom, Candice, that's pretty cute.
Yeah, no, my mom.
Pretty cute.
My mom is adorable. She has Christmas is her jam. Like, she loves Thanksgiving, but she also loves Christmas. She'll start decorating as soon as she can. Like, every year there's new decorations, and my dad is like, Joyce, like, there's no more space, but she'll come home with a new nutcracker to put on the mantle. She'll come home with another Christmas tree, more lawn stuff. Like, it's her jam. She lives for
What does
the holidays.
what does as soon as she can mean? Like Labor Day is over and she's fucking
No.
putting up the Christmas tree?
No, tomorrow. Halloween is done. Tomorrow.
She is very anxious about doing it. Like she gets excited about it, but she still is very tasteful with it. So she's not one of these people. She doesn't want it socially acceptable to do it. As soon as it's socially acceptable to put the shit out on the lawn, she does it.
She a lady.
She's not putting candy canes out on Labor Day. Like,
soon? She's not that.
Too soon?
My mother Joyce is hilariously adorable because she has never been able to get it together with Christmas decorations because she's always been busy working and shit. So she would be having like one string of lights going down a railing. They'd just be looking bootleg as hell. Like, Ma, nobody asked for that.
Take it down.
Take it down. Either do it or don't.
Yeah. No decorations is more festive at this point than this one string of lights.
If you're gonna do it, commit. Like, every time I drive by a house and I see like one sad tree, I'm like, what was the point? Just take it down. There's no way.
Yeah.
I also don't agree with, have you guys seen the Halloween lights? They look like Christmas lights, but they're Halloween colors. I don't like them.
So listen,
I feel like they like just bogarted all of Halloween shit and tried to make it that, but I don't like it.
I moved to Atlanta, yes. And I live near a community that looks like the Truman Show. Like, go to the right and it's crackheads, go to the left and it's the Truman Show. And it's like the most diverse neighborhood. You walk into the neighborhood and it's like Black Lives Matter and gay rainbow flags and women's rights and all this shit on every lawn, Biden, Harris, everything. But they take Halloween so serious. Like, I can't wait till Christmas because I know it's going to be on crack. But Muggs got spiders on their whole house. Yeah. The Halloween decorations this year are crazy. There's like 80-foot skeleton men and all this shit. They are wilding over there, competing with each other. And I was like, Christmas, like, how y'all gonna do Christmas? But the cutest part is they also posted signs. They said, what y'all won't do is be trick-or-treating, because that's the neighborhood where they give the big Snickers. Like, you can tell that'd be the neighborhood where everybody comes. They said, y'all can't trick-or-treat here. We gonna have decorations, but y'all can't come here. So.
No, I feel like now that fireworks are done, like, people are finally have moved on from fireworks now that it's getting chilly outside. So now they put all of that firework energy into decorations. And now we're all trapped in our houses. It's like their houses are just explosions of decorations. Although I will say, I did just hear, we just had the Lakers win the championship, which I just found out, I think, the day of, like, or like a day after. I was like, oh, we won? And I didn't even know they were in the finals until, like, they were already there for, like,
you just told me. I didn't know.
I mean, who cares? So they won, and then the Dodgers just won.
Yeah.
The Doyers. And so I've been hearing a lot of fireworks. And I was like, what the fuck is going on again? And I was like, they must be celebrating something again. But I think now the fireworks are done.
Yeah.
Done for at least this year. And we'll see.
That's part of why I had to leave Brooklyn, because the fireworks was insane. You can't be doing that for a whole month. Yeah. That was ridiculous. Outside my house.
Joyelle, for your safety, do not do mushrooms and then walk through that haunted neighborhood. I do not think that would be a good trip.
No, I'm not. I'm probably not. But it looks like the neighborhood looks fake. It looked like a studio backlot.
Yeah.
Well, I remember talking on the phone with you. Stupid. I remember talking on the phone with you, Joyelle, during probably month 2 or 3 of quarantine, and I was like, why are people shooting off fireworks? Do you remember what your response was, or your explanation?
No.
You were like, because motherfuckers is bored.
Sounds like me.
She's like, what else they gonna do? We trapped in our houses. Like, everyone is just bored out their minds. Yeah, we're gonna start fires.
Yeah, explosions. That's that they started them fires in LA because everybody was like, "Oh, you having a baby? Let's blow some shit up."
Yeah.
I am curious to see how many people are getting knocked up in quarantine.
Mm.
I
Oh,
already
there's
know
gonna
of
be
one.
a there's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be a
already
lot
know
of
of one.
early 2021 babies.
Not necessarily early, like it could happen now.
A lot of covitas out there.
Covitas.
Coronita.
Just
Ew.
wanted to
Carolina.
I don't like that one.
I don't. Oh, you like the other ones? You like
One
the other ones?
that one's stupid, Mel. I I did want to congratulate you, Joyelle, because you were selected as a 2020 comedian you should know on it was Vulture, right? Vulture's list.
Yes, Vulture's
Yes.
list.
I was like,
Thank you.
finally.
Oh, thank you,
I was like,
boo.
finally.
I was surprised. I was surprised, but I also was a little bit like I didn't want to do it just because they had. You ever get an email that got too many instructions?
That's literally every email. Even if just one paragraph. I'm like, I gotta read this.
Every dude, if you ain't listening, where's the money? I don't see no money. I'm not reading all of this. And I had to ask my manager, I was like, should I do this? She was like, bitch, yes. And I was like, my bad. So happy I did it, but a bitch was like, this email is long.
Wait, what did you actually have to do? I thought they just selected people.
They selected, but we had to answer a bunch of questions, and then we had to do a photo shoot. So basically, what would have happened, I think, if it was normal times, they would have done a photo shoot with us. But since they couldn't, they gave us the instructions of what they wanted for a photo shoot, and I was like, I don't see no money in this.
You're going to get a selfie and you're going to be happy with it.
Right. I was like, can I send you one of my professional headshots? I was like, bitch, I don't do makeup. And this is another thing to go back, and Candice, you can attest to this. I feel like people are very disrespectful when it comes to women because they'll just be like, oh, just be camera ready. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not a makeup artist.
Do you understand that when I put makeup on myself, that's not camera ready? Like
that's not camera ready.
They don't understand that natural makeup that we wear, first of all, we don't even really wear makeup at all. So it's like asking us to put on makeup on top of that looks good on camera. It's gonna look like we don't have makeup on.
Basically.
That's
Basically.
the definition. Like I've had guys come up to me and be like, oh, you're so pretty, you don't need makeup. And I'm like, I'm wearing makeup.
Like, I got a full beat, bitch. This is a drag queen beat to me. I can't. I can't.
The process at all. Like we need to. The reason why I even hate coming and doing this podcast, even like in the morning time at all, is because like I need my face to depuff, like hours, like to deflate from when I wake up in the morning. I need to just go down the swelling, just to go down a little bit.
Exactly.
There's so much that men don't even understand. That
no.
But them being, Black on top of it, like even that when they do provide people, to do our hair and makeup, and of course, obviously this doesn't affect me as much as darker skinned Black women, but like they don't have the right makeup, their hair shit ain't right either. It's a whole, I've seen like Black women in chairs getting their hair and makeup done, and the frustration with because the white girl doesn't know how to do their hair, and it's like I just feel this is terrible.
Listen, I got chosen for another list a while ago, right?
Yeah.
And I asked the guy that we were coming in for a photo shoot, and I was like, look, do you have somebody to do Black hair? And he was like, oh girl, I got you. Our hairstylist has done Black hair. I'll send you some examples. And one of the pictures he sent was Simone Biles. Now look, talented, extremely talented person, but that is not the example of I do Black hair. Absolutely not. So I was concerned, but you know what? I was like, I'm a trusted, and I showed up in my do-rag, just like, I woke up like this. I woke up like this, right? Get there, it's a gay dude. So I was like, all right, I'm good, right?
Yeah, we good.
Sit down in the chair, and he was like, you look great. You look great. Candice, when I tell you rage tears started coming out of my fucking face because I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he just stopped working. So I'm sitting here like, okay, why are you getting paid? And I'm crying. And now a Japanese woman, no offense to you, Mal, but she comes to start doing my makeup. And I was like, who is this bitch?
Question, Joyelle, question. Was this Japanese woman black in her earlier life?
Yes.
Do you know she was black previously?
It was one of your aunties. And so I was like, I need to keep it together because now my face is about to look crazy. The wardrobe stylist put a hat on top of my fro. I was outdone. I look crazy in this picture. Luckily, it wasn't for like a national magazine, but it was for something that was quarterly. So I was in a whole quarter looking wild. And I just learned, like my manager was like, why didn't you call me? And I learned like, oh, nah, fuck that shit. Cause I should have walked off that set. Cause that was crazy. That was crazy. Like, what are you, you're not going to do nothing?
Yeah, no, I remember when you told me that story, and it's people they do not understand that most Black women, when they have to go get like on their, taping something or whatever, have to have our like own shit. We need to get your shit done before or bring your own person, because
yes,
you cannot rely on the person that's there to make you look, they're gonna put a powder on your face that's 4 shades too light, and then you're gonna look ashy on camera, and then it's like there's a whole, and you understand like that anxiety of having to deal with that and then have to perform. Like this is supposed to be my time where I'm chilling. I'm like getting in zen. I shouldn't be stressed out about my hair and the way that I look on camera when I need to perform on top of it. Because I'm gonna be in my head, I'm gonna be uncomfortable. So it's a thing that needs to be discussed more for sure. Because we're talking about like inclusion and diversity in front of the camera, but we still need to have more conversations about it behind the camera and the people here,
Hey, does Candice know that her cheeks are ashy as fuck right now?
That's a grip in the background, like the boom mic operator is like, God damn this bitch.
How you get an ashy forehead? I never seen that before.
Is the tip of her nose white?
Well, like if you could just maybe just get her from the left side.
Man, listen, when I did my Seth Meyers set, it was a white lady doing my makeup, and my cousin Joy was with me, and she does makeup, and she was sitting there like a hawk, like, make sure you blend that. Like, I know the makeup artist hated her, but I didn't give a fuck. I was like, listen to her, because she gonna tell you what you need to do. And she was like, is this okay? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, this ain't about you right now. You're not the one who's about to get taped and put on national television and then live on the internet for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my fucking life.
You ain't gonna have me out here looking stupid.
So learn my lesson.
Okay, I want to talk about, because I know Joyelle and I were texting about this earlier this week. Mal, did you get a chance to watch? You didn't have to, but did you get a chance to watch Lovecraft Country on HBO?
No, but I did start the second film.
Borat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you didn't finish it?
No, I watched it last night. It was a long day.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about Borat real quick, but I do want to touch on Lovecraft Country real quick because, first of all, I will say this. What we're doing right now is not something that's genuinely a good idea, to talk shit about something. Something that is supposed to be so well beloved, also from a person who we all do love. Jordan Peele but he's a producer. He's not like a writer or director, which is different. Like
Misha Green
for sure is the one that did she create it?
Yeah.
Or is
she
okay?
It's her show.
Look, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I really didn't like it, but I will. Let me preface this by saying I'm here for bad Black shit or stuff that other people may have enjoyed it, but I'm here for Black mediocrity. I'm here for all of that. If bad white shit has been on the air since our existence and even before then, I'm here for all levels of production when it comes to Black shit. I'm just happy it's on the air and it's giving Black people work and Black people shine. But it's a horror, it's a Black horror genre that is based off of some books by H.P. Lovecraft. Based off of H.P. Lovecraft books. And do you know anything about the books? But I think, was he a racist? H.P. Lovecraft?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so they basically
was an old white man racist? Yes.
Yeah. So basically they reimagined like his books with like a black cast. But it's a lot. There's a lot going on in this show. Like a lot where I was just like, you and I on the same page. You text me, you were like, do we have to be black and like gay and fighting monsters? Like, it's just a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Like, we already have monsters. Like, do we deal with, the oppression, right? White oppression. I was like, that's monster enough that we have to deal with. Now we're like literally fighting monsters. But there was just a lot going on for me. And I wasn't fulfilled by it at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, I said this before, I tuned in mostly because, Candice, I was so proud for your career. I'm so happy that you booked the role and that you were in, that you are on HBO.
Talking about Journey Smollett, because I've been called Journey Smollett for the better part of my existence. Yeah.
Mal, do you know who Journey Smollett is?
I'm watching right now, yeah.
Are you watching Lovecraft Country right now?
I have the trailer on just so I could sort of get a little bit of what you guys are.
Yes.
Journey
here's the
is
thing.
just Juicy Smollett's sister. We have
Not Juicy.
Juicy. That's what Chappelle was
Juicy.
calling.
That's what Chappelle calls it. Now that's his name.
Juicy Smollett.
Smollett. Yes.
Here's the thing. I was on board for the first 2 episodes. I was on board and I was like, okay, we getting a little weird. Okay. But then it just kind of went left and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm happy for Black people being weird as fuck. I'm happy for that. I mean, also they were like murdering racist white people in it. I'm here for that. I mean, there's a situation where I didn't know I needed to see a racist white man get fucked to death with a stiletto. Like, I didn't know that my heart wanted that.
Spoiler
I didn't know.
alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell you which white man, but it happened. And it was just so. But there were so many times I was like, I don't know what's happening here, and I feel like I'm intelligent. I can follow things. I've never been a person that likes like magical realism because the world is too much is going on in the world. So I'm never like, ooh, let's fly up in the sky and aliens and shit. I didn't even know I was gonna like Game of Thrones. Like I could follow that though.
Right,
so when I couldn't follow Lovecraft Country, I was just like, this doesn't make sense. The last 2 episodes actually kind of redeemed themselves for me because they did a whole deep dive into Tulsa, which I really appreciated because I think that the world needs to know about Tulsa, especially white America. So I appreciated that, but I also don't like how you can't eat while you watch that damn show. Everybody's spitting on things and it's just like, it's so gross. And I would rather somebody punch me in my face than spit on me.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's when I'm saying it's too much, it's too like the gore. Like, see, the part you enjoyed, the stiletto part, I didn't, just because I was like, that's too graphic. Like, I don't need to see a woman shoving a stiletto into a man's ass. Like, they show it. Like, it's gross. And so, like, they could have alluded to that. Just show the shoe and get a shot from show his face and just show her shoving it down. But no, they show her and her hand and the stiletto like entering, and but that's what they do. Like, there's
Mal's face.
I know, and it's just like, to me, HBO always goes overboard with sex. Even with like Insecure, I feel like the sex scenes, like, this wasn't necessary. Like, it's a lot of gratuitous blood and a lot of gratuitous sex. And just like there's parts of it where it's like it's just like that. And even this is in a world where it's like we're accepting that there's monsters. That scene where that black chick had sex with a white man that literally has like a devil symbol on his chest. I was like, that would never happen. There's no black woman that would let a white man take off his shirt and then there's like Baphomet on his chest. And she's like, yeah, get these draws. Like, no. It's like, you probably are racist, but now you worship Satan and I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like
But
parts like that I was just like, and I feel like the dialogue is very on the nose. It's like they're beating you over the head with the America's racist. America was a racist. Like every 5 minutes, there's like a sign that just reminds you, like America's racist. And I'm like, we know that. I prefer subtlety, and I don't need.
I do prefer subtlety.
I don't need a guy who's about to sexually assault a black woman. Be like, come here, nigger bitch. Like, I don't need you to say that, but that's what happens.
Yeah, Mal. They go hard, and they're going hard in the paint in that show. And
wow.
look, I'm happy for everyone. It just wasn't for me.
Isn't that
Just,
Jordan? That's Jordan Peele's kind of thing, though, right? Isn't he like
totally.
pushing
That's
the line?
I disagree.
He's pushing the line. He's a lot weird. I wouldn't say he's a little weird. He's like a lot weird, and he's just
sure.
like.
I would disagree.
That seems like on brand.
The subtlety in Get Out was brilliant. You didn't need to hear someone say "nigger bitch" like when you're about to rape a black woman, because that's implied. We understand that. So
nigger bitch is implied.
Yeah.
When you see a white man in his 50s about to
cut.
assault a black woman.
Brad, could you deliver that with more of like a nigger bitch like energy?
Vibe.
That's what we're trying to convey here in this scene. Let's take it again from the top.
Your face was kind of like color girl cunt, like that.
Yeah.
I need you to be a little bit.
It should be more nigger bitch.
Imply nigger bitch. Yes. It's funny though, because there are parts when it's like, if an older white man is referring to a black person, yeah, they would say nigger. Like that would totally happen. So I appreciate when they're honest about it, but then you don't got to beat me over the head.
It's forced.
You don't got to beat me over the head with it.
Very
but I did like I like the Emmett Till situation.
Yes,
I like the Tulsa. So, but it's just too much with like monsters and white people and racist white people. I don't need both.
Right.
No.
I
stressing me out.
I agree.
Pick one.
I also
pick one.
pick one. Seriously, but like even like there's a way to incorporate, a homosexual character without making him feel like he's an afterthought, and that the only thing about his character is that he's gay. And Michael K. Williams from The Wire, he plays the protagonist's father, who was out of his life most of his life, and then they reconnect, or not out of his life, but just abusive to his kid, and now they're reconnecting as adults, and he finds out. I'm sorry, spoiler alerts for people who are going to watch the show. Spoiler alert. But anyway, his father's gay. But like, there's parts of it, it's like, why? I mean, it gets more into it towards the end, but it's like, it just feels like it felt like, to me, it was just like contrived inclusions. Like, okay, we need to make sure there's a gay character. We need to make sure there's that, so they don't get yelled at or they don't get dragged online for leaving somebody out. But there's a way to do that it's again more subtle, and it feels like that character has a place, and he's not just there to check off a box. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you've watched all 9 episodes, or are the episodes coming out?
No, it's done.
I think it's done. It's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched them all. I watched 3 last night just so I could be up on today. And I was surprised because it got to a point where we're watching it and I'm like, literally sitting there like, ugh. But in the last 2 episodes, I was like, okay, I'm here for this again.
Yeah.
But it lost me in the middle. First 2 episodes, last 2 episodes I loved, but the middle, I was just like, I don't know what's happening.
I agree. My only problem with the Tulsa episode so the Michael K. Williams character, how old do you think he is? They don't tell anybody's age, so that's what's confusing to me. So how old do you think Michael K. Williams' character is in the show, Joyelle? What would you assume?
I had to Google his actual age. He's 53, so I was like, 53?
Yeah, no, I thought he was in his 50s. I was like, he's probably in his early 50s, just by the way he looks. Courtney B. Vance plays his brother in the show, who I was like, he's for sure in his 60s. Like, for sure. This guy is married to Angela Bassett. That's her husband in real life, and he's been in a bunch of shit. Anyway, he plays his brother. So I'm looking, I was like, okay, he's in his 60s, just assuming, and he's in his 50s. And I assume that the kid, played by Journey Smollett, and I forget what the guy's name is, but he's great. He was in Last Black Man in San Francisco. Fantastic, that guy. But anyway, I was like, they're in their 30s. That's just what I assumed.
Yes.
The Tulsa episode. So they go back to 1921,
1921. Yeah.
which is when the Tulsa riots happened. So this is my problem is they go back and Michael K.
He's a
Williams
kid.
and George, his brother, are kids.
Yes, and it's 1955. Like the show takes place in 1955, so they would have had to been about 20
Exactly.
during Tulsa. Yeah.
But in the show, they're kids. Like they said something about prom, so they could have been like a junior in high school, maybe senior in high school. The oldest son, Courtney DeVance's character, but the other guy was like 13 or 14, and I was like, that was 33 years ago. So he would have been in his 20s.
Yeah, I didn't even make that connection. I totally didn't make that connection. That's how much is going on in this show that it's like you get lost with accuracy.
And that's my problem is like if you mess up on shit like that, I can't take you seriously anymore.
Right, because it takes you out of it. It takes you out of the show.
It really took me out of it. I was like, Journey Smollett's character should have been like 1 year old in that scene. She should have already been born because I looked up her real age. She's 34. And dude is 31. They should have been like in the womb or young kids when that happened. Not even thought of. And their parents were kids. Like no, that's just completely wrong. So I was like, I can't with this show, but I'm gonna continue to watch it and support it just because like I said, I'm here for all things Black, even if I'm not in love with it, just because I'm happy to see Black people work.
I'm just happy to see Black people on screen. I just also want more regular. Want us to be just regular. Like I want regular storylines. You know, I don't want dudes spitting on dicks and throwing them like. Now they spitting on dicks.
Another spoiler alert.
Wow.
I just don't like spit. That's all. I have issues with spit.
She was like, I'm fine with the stiletto in the anus part. But if she had spit on it first, that is where I would have drawn.
I draw the line.
Draw the line, draw.
So yeah, but congratulate Misha Green. Congratulations, boom.
Yeah, no, get that money.
Get that money. Get that money, Black woman.
In those credits. Now we can talk about Borat, which I watched last night. I hadn't watched it yet, but I was like, let me just, since we're going to be talking about this, let me sit down. And it's exactly what I expected it would be, except not as funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
Oh, yeah?
I loved it.
Did you like the original Borat as well?
Yeah, I think I might have liked this one more, oddly enough.
No, I loved the first one, and this one disappointed.
Yeah, I got to watch that first one again. But I remember the feeling from the first one of being like, this is awesome. And this one, I think I loved especially for the message of, I'm an abortion rights advocate to the nth power. And when they went into the crisis pregnancy center, that was just like my favorite moment because shout out to Jenna Friedman writing on that. She put that whole thing together. And people don't know about crisis pregnancy centers. Mal, do you know about crisis pregnancy centers? These are fake abortion clinics that there are more of them in the country than real abortion clinics, and they lie to women. They lure young girls in and lie to them.
About this. I do know about this. Yeah.
And then he got one of their dumbass leaders, one of their pastors, on camera, and I love that part. So maybe I'm just biased because of that.
That was funny where she had, and again, spoiler alert, so if you're going to watch the movie, tune this part out. But
this episode's called Spoiler Alert.
Yeah, just don't listen to this episode at all. He went and got a cupcake for his daughter. This chick who's playing his daughter is like 15-year-old girl. He gets her a cupcake. She eats the baby. That's like a little figurine that's on top of the cupcake. And then she eats that by accident because she was just going ham on the cupcake. And then they go to that crisis center type situation and is like, we need to get the baby out of her. The guy's like, we don't do that here. And he's like, no.
He's like, but I'm father. I put the baby inside to pleasure my daughter.
I think that because I don't think I had ever watched the original Borat all the way through, so I watched that one first, and that's why I didn't finish the second one. And that one seemed more of like a hidden camera satire kind of movie. Like, I think I watched the first half hour of part two, and it seems more of like a political satire on what's happening right now, which is like completely different tone
It was
than the
very
first one. It's
political.
like
Right.
not even really a sequel. It's more just like, look how stupid these people are,
Yeah.
which which I'm here for. Like I am gonna finish it, but
Oh yeah.
definitely has a different tone than the first movie for sure.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like there was
Yeah.
definitely an agenda with this one, and a political agenda. And
Yeah,
I'm here for that. Whatever you want to do, that's fine.
the
He,
Melania cartoon, like that whole thing was just like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I know some people that wrote on that too, and they're very like left people. And I never. I guess he's. I just assumed he was left, and I guess he's made fun of like Republicans before too. But
Yeah.
I did miss the, and then there was the Rudy Giuliani part too, that he had him in there with and which then went, I think, also viral, like just a clip of it.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, no, I prefer like the politics to be left out of it, like just for me, my personal taste. When it came to his stuff, like I went back and watched some of his other one, and I was like, yeah, this was less political, and I enjoyed it more. And I don't know, I love making like jokes and politics together. I love that, but for some reason with the prank stuff, I don't know, I just felt the
Yeah.
first one was funnier. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the abortion
Yeah.
scene part, that was
Man, listen,
Mwah.
these psychos. That was, and that black woman who came out and said she felt betrayed, which is hilarious to me. Like she felt betrayed. They raised $100,000 for her betrayal, so she'll be all right. But I really appreciated that. I really appreciated that moment because it's the fact of where you're like, if somebody's asking you all these crazy questions, you're gonna stop and be like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. But you know what else is I've always wondered, and I don't know if it's when you see the camera there, you know what's happening, right? Like this is a prank or some type of, you're filming some type of setup. Like, and I felt like this one was more scripted than the previous
Yes.
one. So
Well,
I think
because
that's also what I didn't like as much.
because on the first one he was unknown, and so
Right.
Yeah.
their cover story of, we're shooting this documentary of this guy, his first time in America, that flew for a lot of people, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, we'll have the cameras in here, so it's, thinking it's a documentary, yeah, this is totally normal that they're filming this.
Right.
You wouldn't question it, but
Right.
now
Yeah.
it's like, come on, dude.
Right.
That's what they tell them. It's a documentary.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
We're documenting you, bitch.
I love it. And I also just wonder, like, I wonder if I would fall for something like that, but I don't think I would. Like, I think at a certain point I would start cracking up. Like when Stephen Colbert used to do his character and interview people, there was this one black congresswoman, a female, and he's doing his thing, and she just starts laughing at him, and she's like, "You are a mess." Like, just, it's like, I'm not falling for. I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm not gonna keep answering these questions.
No, like clearly you're like, I'm the joke, and I'm
Right.
not gonna sit here and let you continue to make fun of me without me at least addressing the elephant in the room and making me look like a fool. But oh wait, I lost my train of thought. Damn it!
See how you do?
Yeah, I know. Damn. Oh, I was gonna say he mixed politics brilliantly with his humor in his Showtime show. Did you ever watch This Is America?
So I'm watching that now. Who is America?
So good.
I'm watching that now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. He's getting all these freaking idiots.
Yeah,
I love it.
I thought it was brilliant, but
I'll check that out.
Yeah, something like that show is worth getting Showtime for. Like I had Showtime, I watched that, and I watched Homeland, and then I was like, okay, the rest of this programming is trash.
Black Monday. I'm on Black Monday.
Oh, I forgot about Black Monday. Maybe I'll get it back for that.
That first season was hilarious. Black Monday and Love Fraud. Have you heard about Love Fraud?
I've heard about it, but I haven't. I canceled my membership.
Okay. It's so funny because I got the membership to watch Black Monday, and now I'm like, oh, Showtime got some content. They got The Shy, Jesus and Meryl. I don't know whose black ass is on the board, but like Z-Way just got her show. So I was like, okay, black people, let's do this. But Love Fraud is about a gaggle of white women who got hustled by one of those dudes who just be like, I love you, and then steal all their money and then move to the next bitch.
Is that about? Is that about? So there was a show called and a podcast called Dirty John. Was this about that guy? Do you know?
I think so, but I feel like this has happened to multiple white women in America.
White women love getting hustled and taken into cults.
I don't even understand, because I wish a nigga would, because the way, and they sound so stupid in the documentary, because they'd be like, he told me he loved me after a week and he proposed to me after 2 weeks, and I just thought I was in love, and then he took all of my money, and I watched that shit like speaking of struggles, I like watching white women struggle. So Love Fraud. I only watched one episode because I was like, I'm not gonna keep listening because they all sound the same. And no, so the funny part about Love
Joyelle needs a pick-me-up, she just gets a fucking microwave bag of popcorn and puts on Love Fraud.
Watches white women struggle. Dude, the funniest part about it is that they all got together. It's like 30 of these bitches. They got a Facebook group and shit. And they contacted other women that he's hustled. God. They get a private investigator, this white woman who is like a bounty hunter. Hilarious. So they can, and she's interviewing them, and she be like, "You fell for that?" Like she was looking at these bitches like, "I'll take your money, but y'all are dumb." Like, yeah, Love Fraud is hilarious.
Unfortunately, I will track this guy down, but I'm gonna need all of your guys' money again.
Basically, yeah, get a pool together, bitch. Yeah. Like, y'all are dumb.
Some easy ass marks right here.
Exactly, mark ass bitches. So yeah, Love Fraud. At least watch that pilot. That shit.
Yeah, I think this is a different guy. I think this isn't the same guy who is. So yeah, there's a podcast called Dirty John and a show. And in the show, I can't think of that chick's name. She's got great hair. She plays the guy or the love interest of Dirty John, but the same thing. Same. He just goes. He hops from woman to woman, takes her money. But Eric Bana plays the guy. But yeah, just sociopath dudes who just latch on and suck. And then leave, and then bounce.
And bounce. They bounce hard.
Happens frequently, but usually to white women.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it happened to like Jennifer Lewis, which I was surprised about.
She lost money to a man?
She like $50,000, and she came out about it and was like honest, but I was just like, I can't imagine that. Like once you start asking me for money, this is when I start getting suspicious when dudes be like, hey, can you pick me up and can you take me here? I'm like, no. I'm like, there's Uber now. Like, why am I picking you up? And
oh my gosh,
more importantly, where is your car?
Which car?
I'm super, super like sensitive and aware, hyper aware, I would even say, of like anytime I feel like a guy is trying to take advantage, I'm like, no. And
yeah. One of my red flags is when they start doing terms of endearment too soon. I can't stand that shit, like baby and all that stuff. Like I told this one dude, he was calling me baby. We hadn't even gone on a date yet.
Yep.
And I was like, just so you know, I'm not into terms of endearment too soon. And he was like, don't worry, you're gonna like it from me. No. No, I'm not.
I just told you I don't like that, dude.
Yeah, what makes you think you're an anomaly? You're an exception to my rule. But no, and see, that's what I fell for when I dated my sociopath. You both know what I'm talking about. I fell for that because I didn't know. But he started with the terms of endearment, and it made me feel like, oh, this guy's serious. Because when you don't know, it's called love bombing. When they come at you prematurely, there's a term for it. It's called when a sociopath or a psychopath, because they want to ingratiate themselves. Like they just want you to trust them. So, and they know that shit works. When you're unsuspecting, now that I know, it's like, oh, of course, that's a huge red flag. But like for people who don't know, it makes them feel good. And like you don't, you think like as a woman, when you're a straight woman and you're dating men, you're like, most men are not like that. So you just like, and a lot of times most men are assholes. So it's like the way we get treated in relationships, we're all like rescue animals. So it's like, we're just all been verbally, emotionally abused by dudes that ain't shit. So when you hear,
not rescue animals.
we are. We are all
I got rescued late.
We all
Hey, Jay,
with us.
meet my girlfriend, Samantha. She's a rescue.
Seriously, like I don't think, and not to say that it doesn't happen to men, it does, but I just know for a fact that women get emotionally and verbally abused because it just happens frequently. And so we all have baggage and trauma. So when we meet a guy that immediately is like, hey babe, and whatever, makes you feel and says all these nice things, you're like, oh my God, a guy's never acted or spoken to me like this before. So he must really like me. He must be the one. So it's comforting, but then it's like, oh no, watch out for that because he the devil.
Yeah, maybe that's because you had a daddy, Candice, and you trusted it. I didn't, and I'll be like, no, nigga. you don't love me. My daddy didn't, so I don't trust you. See, that's the problem. All you bitches with daddies getting hustled in these streets.
Joyelle, don't worry. There's only 7 of us.
Shit makes you weak.
Right.
I have never done terms of endearment because we never did that in my house. Like my mom didn't call us little nicknames. My name is Mal, or if I'm in trouble, my name is Mala Cochran. Like that shit is, that's it. That's it. So like to this day, I'm not like I get uncomfortable when I'm around that couple. Hey babe, can you, hey sweetie, can you,
like what's her name, goddammit?
Dude, fucking, she's an adult, dude. Speak to her as such. What are you doing? Respect that woman. What's her name?
I feel like babe is lazy. Like that's the easiest one. It's like you're not even creative. If you're gonna come up with a nickname for me, I need it to be specific to me. Like there's a behavior you think is adorable, and you nickname it.
Snot Rocket. Yeah. Snot Rocket, get over here, girl. Huh? You
Like
call her Snot Rocket?
My little fart nugget. Oh, yeah. You know I'm vegan. You know I be like that.
Mala Cochran.
Joyelle and Mal, but Joyelle mostly I want to ask you just because, well, we only have a few minutes left, but you are now, you're cohabitating, right, with your boo in quarantine.
I am.
And you guys have gotten, how many months now have you been together?
Tomorrow will be 8.
Happy anniversary.
Month of Earth, yes, thank you.
Thank you. You guys got together literally the beginning of the quarantine.
March 1st, like and it's funny because it's like, it's not a quarantine relationship. We got together right before quarantine and then quarantine happened. It was like, you serious about this shit, bitch? Okay. Like now you know.
Well, yeah,
that's
and it's
awesome.
like if you survive this, then it don't get worse. So it's like, I mean, it can and it probably will, but
this is like a relationship pressure cooker. You know what I mean? It really tests everything.
Yeah, and we're interracial, so it's like, oh, did you want to sprinkle a race war on top of the pandemic? Like, what the fuck?
Find out whose side he's on real quick.
Yeah, don't make no sense. And it's my first time living with a man. I never thought I would ever be able to do it, and I immediately got a couples therapist before we moved in together because I was like, I need help. we gonna need some help. I was like, we cool, but we gonna need a weekly check-in. I'm gonna pay somebody for a weekly check-in, and that has been the lifesaver of all lifesavers because And now down here in Atlanta, we have separate bathrooms and separate closets, which apparently is the key to a good cohabitation.
That's the jam right there.
We talked about having separate bedrooms if we ever got married to dudes, and I am for that as well. I'm just for space. We just need to have our space.
Yeah, and it's going really well. Like I never would have thought I would,
what ethnicity is he?
He is half white and half Taiwanese. Oh, you know, 2 races that love Black people. And
so you guys
guess who's coming to dinner, bitch?
Yeah, so you have a shoes off house.
Basically. Shoes outside the door, basically. Yeah. Mal, I don't think his mother was very like terms of endearment either. I think he was Daniel.
Yeah. That must be an
Well,
Asian mom thing, because there's no.
yeah.
We were raised on guilt and shame. That's what we were
Oh,
raised on.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All I know is when I met Mal's mom for the first time, it was very professional. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, here's this person that I've known and been friends with and worked with for like the past 6 or 7 years. This is
Yeah.
Candice. You finally meet her. It was like, hello.
Yeah.
And I was like, hi. She was like, oh, I don't know you, bitch.
To
Yeah.
this day, my mom will shake hands with Dorothy's in-laws. She's met them. Dorothy is my best friend. That's my best friend, and like she's met the in-laws a gang of times. But when she sees them, she's like, "Hello," and she'll shake their hand. I'm like, "Mom, you could give them a hug or just like say hi or like you don't have to shake their hand." And she's like, "I don't like hugs. I don't like people touching me. All right, I'll
Oh,
just shake the hand." And that's me.
she's like,
I'm
I
like,
don't even like that. So
Wait,
the pandemic, your mother must love the
she
pandemic.
loves
yeah,
COVID.
yeah.
You need to bring this back next year.
She's like, wait, I don't have to see people and my grandson lives at my house? Perfect. Like, my mom is a different bird.
She's
I love
hilarious.
it.
She's great for comedic purposes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Joyelle, are you guys at the level now where you can fart in front of one another and you're cool with it and he doesn't judge you?
Yes, which, ew, like, it's so hilarious point. I happened to be watching one of Serena Williams, like one of her Instagram stories. And you know, the bitch is rich. Like she's married to a billionaire. She's one of the most successful athletes of all time. So she said, one of the richest things I ever heard. She's talking about her beauty regimen and she goes,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes I just like to use eye cream on my entire face. And I was like, God damn, bitch is rich.
And you know that eye cream costs $7,000.
$7,000, and it's a tube this big, and
Yeah.
she just be acting like it's Vaseline. So she had her daughter, her little daughter Olympia, and she's like doing her hair, and then Olympia goes puff puff, and she was like puff puff. And her daughter had farted and it got into her nose. And she was like, oh, puff puff, bitch. And the daughter smiled and like jetted out of the camera. It was so hilarious. So now we say puff puff every time we fart. And
Hilarious.
That's awesome.
Now,
we fart on each other. Ew.
My fiance doesn't fart in front of me, but I fart in front of her openly, and she thinks farts are funny, so that works out for me. So
yeah.
I will consistently ask her to pull my finger in the most inopportune moments, and she will do it, and I'll just let it go. It is so fun.
Yeah, I never thought I would get to this point, but yeah, we both fart and burp and all that shit.
That's love, man. But
Yeah.
would you care at all if she farted in front of you, Mal? Would that turn you off in any way, shape, or form, or make you
No.
think that she's less desirable?
No.
No. Okay.
I've seen a lot come out of her body, and so a fart is the least of
It's
my.
the least.
I would probably play that it bothers me to be funny, but I don't care.
They're never not funny. Farts
Yeah.
will always be
Yeah. I was like,
hilarious.
now I'm a 12-year-old boy, apparently.
Yeah.
I stand by this. They're hilarious unless you're in a car or on an airplane with somebody. Then it's like, I will fuck you up. I will fuck you up for farting in this. You know this was enclosed. I feel like that was the flatulence was left out of the women's liberation movement because, you know, men really don't like to see us do anything human. They don't like to know that we shit, which is why it's good to have separate bathrooms. But like, yeah, they want us to come out these perfect, beyond human, like aliens. Like we just don't have any hair on our bodies. We have to be this pristine, you know, with no flaws. But like the idea of us shitting or farting usually turns men off. So I feel like maybe I'll start a fart march.
Fart march.
A fart.
A fart.
A fart.
That could be a good bit. I'm gonna work on that. Candice, write that down. Fart march. All right, guys, done it. This will be better. And I know, Joyelle, you have to go buy a gun.
I'm going to buy a gun. I'm going to go buy a gun and see a baby right now.
Wow.
Make sure you let the baby hold the gun.
Oh God. It was so funny because we're in my cousin's car and the baby is her grandson. So he's in the side and she was like, oh, my gun is under the seat. And I like pick out the gun and I'm holding it. And then I realized it's pointing at the baby. I was like, let's put this back. So we hit a bump. Like, okay, I clearly do not know how to hold guns and babies, so I'll keep them separate. But yes, I'm getting a gun today so I can be prepared for the race war.
For
The
sure.
Civil War Part 2.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about getting one. I need to just go ahead and suck it up and do it. I don't know why I haven't yet. I've been preparing for the end of the world. I've been going to Costco like my father, which is like every day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like a mad, my father.
And I had to remember that my dad literally goes there at least
Every day.
3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I walk down the aisles like I am a man in his 60s. I'm like, I announce everything. I'm like, cashews? They have Cheez-It, granola.
They got those in Topa now?
Yeah.
Oh.
My new thing being down in Atlanta, I'm like a Ross, Walmart, not Walmart, Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Oh my God. I'm like, ooh, there's a new one. I haven't been to this one. I didn't know I was going to be that person, which.
Wait, Joyelle, you're born and raised in New York?
Jersey,
okay. So this is your first time being in the South, like extended amount of time?
Yeah, because I started comedy in LA, and then when I left LA to go to New York, I lived in Atlanta for 2 seconds with my parents, but then left, and so this is my first time like living down here.
How do you like it? How do you like it as like how do you like it?
I love it. We live in like a walking neighborhood, and there's a thing called the Beltline, and everyone in our area is thinking right. Like there's, all, like I said, the Biden signs and everything. So we're in the city, and it's beautiful because that neighborhood, that Truman Show neighborhood, is very diverse. Like it's all babies that look like you, Mal, and it's like all interracial and gay and beautiful, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful to see thriving Black people, and that's one thing that like Brooklyn has that deficiency, because you don't see thriving Black people like in one box. You'll see it sporadic, but it's not like communities of thriving Black people. So I'm really appreciative of just seeing like thriving Black people, and having central air and a washer and dryer in unit is also just very.
Did you feel a way about moving states like that?
I didn't. The reason I was in New York was to do comedy, and I was like, I'm not paying all this rent to be sitting in this box.
Yeah,
that's like the exact reason why I moved in with my mom.
Yeah.
Where are you now, Mel?
I'm in the rural part of San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Like the reason I'm in
a Prius.
Yeah, I'm in a Prius. This is my mom's house.
Yeah.
We're trying to save to buy a house.
Nice.
And so we're like, dude, we're just wasting almost $3,000 a month just sitting in this apartment. Like, so we're living out here for free, but we're contemplating moving out of state because it's so much cheaper. Like, it's like the next level of like saving. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you live out of state for $700 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're paying, the two of us with our 2 apartments in Brooklyn it was over $3,000, and now we're paying less than half of that, so
for
to be able to save money,
more space.
Yeah. And my parents are down here. So it's like, I was feeling very uneasy with everything. And I was like, I want to be near my mama.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm happy for you. That's great.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday to y'all too.
Like 2 months later.
Oh no, that's right. Tomorrow's your month anniversary. Happy month anniversary.
I made it, y'all. Candice knows we've been single forever. I've been single almost 20 years, and that was another reason why I was like therapist now, because I don't know what it's like. And it's like we're Candice, we are dominant women. We don't let niggas live. And the therapist helps me let this nigga live.
You, me, and Amanda are the queens of not letting these niggas live. But sometimes they don't need to be living. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not these chicks that'll let you do some fuck shit and then just let you keep doing the fuck shit. Like,
No.
I feel like we're the women that change the men and then they go on and have a happy relationship with another woman. Like, we're the ones that put in all the work
The horse.
to get this nigga straight, and then he gonna go off and then propose to the next chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm happy to hear your relationship is successful. Amanda is in a successful relationship right now.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
You next, bitch.
I mean, I'm in a situation, and I'm in a situation right now, but it's fun and it's fine, and
she's in an entanglement.
I'm in a romantic entanglement.
I love it.
This was fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for joining and listening and watching. If you guys have not subscribed, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms and YouTube now. We post a link. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, rate and review us on iTunes, and make sure you tell someone about the struggle. I'm Jokes by Candice on social media. Mal, one more time, where can people find you?
Malhole.com. Get out there and vote. Everybody wash your hands.
Yes. And Joyelle, one more time, where can people find you?
At Joyelle Nicole, abortions for everyone.
That's a long screen name.
At abortions for everyone. Wish a motherfucker would.
I wish a motherfucker would try to impregnate me. He don't know who he dealing with. All right, guys. Till next time.
Yay, bye.
Bye.
Later.